Okay, looks like it's working. Hi, everybody. I'm going to wait a little bit while folks join. Oops. Get situated here. Let's see. Let me check this on my phone so I can see how we're doing. Looks like it's live. Oop. Let's turn this down. All right. I hear from Jared that's good. Hey, Judith. Folks should be sure to share this. I'll share it on my own Facebook right now, and while I'm doing that, you can do the same. Let's invite folks to join us and get our friends here. And you can also leave a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me post this. All right. There we go. Hopefully you're sharing it as well. And maybe wait like a couple more minutes. In the meantime, let me know where you're tuning in from, and leave me a comment. Say hey, and we'll get started shortly. It's hot here, so sorry if I appear frazzled or sweaty. That's how it feels. All right, share this video with your friends, invite them to come join us, and I'll give it one more minute. We'll wait until 3 after, and we'll get started. Welcome to the folks who are here. Feel free to say hello and let me know that you're here and where you're tuning in from. And if you've got any questions or comments, things you want to talk about, let me know, because we can definitely talk about those things too. Looks frozen on my phone, but I think that's a lie. Okay. Yeah, I've got 3. Nope, I don't yet. A little bit more time. In the meantime, please share the link to this on your own feed. Invite your friends to come join us, and we'll go through all things Move to Amend from the month of September, and also just national news too. Still looks totally frozen, but I think it's working okay. Unfortunately, that means I can't see any comments, so hopefully they're there. Okay, looks like Garrett is here, so that must mean it's working. All right, I've got 3 after. Let's go ahead and start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the September 2018 edition of Move to Amend's monthly live stream, the Move to Amend Report. This is the place where you can hear the latest about what's going down in the movement to amend the Constitution and legalize democracy. I'm your host, Caitlin Saposi-Belknap, Move to Amend's National Director. As always, you can find us here on the 4th Wednesday of every month at 5 o'clock Pacific time, right here on Facebook Live. Be sure to like, comment, share, and tag your friends. Tell us where you're tuning in from and if you have any questions, and we'll answer them in real time. I see Judith here, so hey, nice to see ya. And if you're tuning in with us, then let me know and say hello, and make sure you share the feed and use the hashtag #MoveToAmend. We always give out free merchandise at the end of the show, so share this live feed on your walls with the hashtag #MoveToAmend, and we'll pick 2 lucky winners to get a free, we're going to do 1 more month of the water bottle, Move to Amend water bottle, and also Move to Amend stamp, not to be used for bribing politicians. Hey, Victoria. Nice to see you. So, if you would like to get a chance to win one of these 2 prizes, share the feed on your wall using the hashtag #MoveToAmend, and we'll pick 2 folks to win 1 of each of those. We normally start off our live stream with some recap of recent news, which, as everybody is aware, has been pretty depressing and not so great. So we're going to start off actually with some great news to start the show, which is that Move to Amend's We the People Amendment, House Joint Resolution 48, has gained 4 new co-sponsors this month. Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas, Andre Carson of Indiana, Elizabeth Esty of Connecticut, and Nanette Diaz-Barragan of California. This brings the total number of co-sponsors to 65, which is a record number for us. This exceeds not only our original goal for the year, which was 45, but also our updated goal of 60, since we blew past that first goal. And it also means that we have met our goal per our strategic plan for next year, 2019. So we'll obviously set a new goal for 2019, but that's just very exciting. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you from Portland, Oregon, and Jason from Baltimore. Welcome. We got those last 4 co-sponsors. Salim, our legislative coordinator, and I were in DC at the end of August, and that was how we finalized those 4, but we couldn't have done it without all the grassroots work that paved the way for this progress. In fact, 3 of those House members took our pledge to amend last time they ran for office, and then that is part of why they came on, because we followed up and said, okay, well, thanks for taking the pledge, but now you need to become a co-sponsor. So all of our grassroots folks who helped get those pledges in the first place and who leaned on your Congress members in Indiana, Texas, Connecticut, and California, good job, and keep it up. Be sure to send these representatives a message thanking them for their support. We'll include a link for you to do that. The latest to show their support for the only surefire solution to getting dark money out of politics and ending the corporate hijacking of our Constitution. So we want to thank them and commend them for stepping forward. And if your rep hasn't signed on to become a co-sponsor, let them know that they should. Seriously, send them a Facebook message. You're right here on Facebook. You could tweet them, you can call them, you can even send a letter by snail mail to get their attention. And so please help us do that. Like I said, we've met our goal for the year, and now everything that we get is just icing on top, but that icing tastes so good, so let's get more of it. Hey, Bill from PDA, California, nice to see you. Remember that if you share this video feed on your own Facebook wall with the hashtag #MoveToAmend, 2 folks who do that are going to get chosen to win a prize. One of the prizes is this water bottle, and the other is our not to be used for bribing politicians stamp that we use to stamp money to spread the word about Move to Amend and also about political corruption. So if you'd like a chance to win one of those, then make sure you share this post using the hashtag #MoveToAmend and invite your friends to come join you here tuning in. If you live in California, like I do, I'm here in Sacramento, California, where it's a lovely summery day still, but fall is a little bit in the air. Those of us here in California could help bring net neutrality back to life. Our legislature passed the strongest net neutrality bill in the nation this last term, but we need Governor Brown to sign it to make it law. And he's getting a lot of pressure from giant telecommunications corporations to veto the bill. An internet that's equally available to all is essential to everyone fighting powerful interests that without net neutrality can block or slow communications between individuals, activists, the public, and elected officials. Jerry Brown has until September 30th to sign the bill. And so if you live in California, please sign the petition that Garrett's going to share in the comments. You can go to the link and invite your friends who live in California to do the same. SB 822 is the name of the bill, and it will stop internet service providers from blocking or throttling some websites. It also stops them from giving paid priority to some websites over others, or using access fees or anti-consumer zero rating practices that constrain free choice. All schemes that are apparently and appallingly currently legal, and if we don't pass this bill, will become the way the internet works here in California. And by setting the example here in California, we could pave the way for other states and make it hard for the telecommunications industry to continue to block net neutrality, even at the national level. So Governor Jerry Brown can sign this law into effect. It'll be the strongest net neutrality law in the nation and lead other states in this fundamental fight for the people and against big money. So please tell him to sign it if you live in California, and everyone you know who lives in California, we could really use those signatures. And he's only got about a week left, less than that. So it's important that we weigh in now to help net neutrality, not just in California. So let's see though. All right, so that was the good news. Well, the net neutrality is still hanging in the balance, but the good news about Move to Amend and our new co-sponsors, and decent news about net neutrality in California so far. Bad news though, and the big news that everyone's talking about this week still, the Kavanaugh nomination to the Supreme Court. So there were already too many reasons to be concerned about Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court by a president who lost the popular vote by nearly 3 million votes. This was before we had seen his testimony in front of the Judiciary Committee and before the information surfaced about his sexual improprieties and predatory nature. So actually, concern is sort of too slight of a word. We've been haunted with the idea that Kavanaugh would be on the Supreme Court. His love for corporations and government surveillance gave us the creeps, and I'm sure it did you too. Here's just a few major reasons why he'd be disastrous, excluding the sexual assault, and I'll get to that later. He believes corporate constitutional rights are valid and concurs with the Hobby Lobby and Citizens United decisions. He literally thinks corporations can hold religious beliefs. He believes investigating and prosecuting a sitting president would greatly undermine the federal government. In his United States, the president and the Supreme Court are apparently above the law. 86% of Americans support net neutrality, just talking about that. Yet he's consistently sided with cable companies, spelling disaster for equality on the internet and giving these huge companies even more power over what information we see. He's opposed to personal privacy, as he's ruled in favor of mass government surveillance and against a woman's right to choose. And at the nomination hearings, we learned even more. We found, we saw that he lied to the Senate Judiciary Committee regarding his involvement in the nomination of Charles Pickering for the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals back in the George W. Bush era. Pickering was greatly controversial due to his negative record on civil rights issues. Kavanaugh wants to end the Environmental Protection Agency's ability to control carbon emissions, the only federal agency taking steps to curb catastrophic climate change. In 2016, Kavanaugh protected Chevron from being held accountable for its role in carbon pollution. Kavanaugh's settled law answer, when he was asked about his stance on Roe v. Wade, coupled with his record, suggests that he's completely down with taking away a woman's right to privacy and power over her own body in practice, if not by the letter of the law. And now it seems, with the third woman coming forward, that he is likely a sexual predator. There's a lot of new information surfacing about his sexual escapades and drunken behavior in high school and college, and we will probably learn more when Dr. Ford testifies tomorrow. And, there's a lot breaking just right now today. But obviously, it sort of should be without needing to be said, but drunk or not, it's never okay to expose or force yourself onto someone, and it doesn't matter if you did it in high school or college or last week. It's never acceptable and it's never excusable. You don't deserve a place on the Supreme Court when you obviously don't respect women, period, who are half of this country, and who will be responsible, Kavanaugh will be responsible on ruling on cases that will affect the trajectory of our legal system for decades to come, many cases that, are directly relevant to women who it appears he doesn't have very high regard for at all. It's ridiculous that we have to say that in 2018 about a Supreme Court nominee, but apparently we do. And obviously, at this point, it's very clear, we all know that sexual predators are everywhere, but it's ridiculous that people voted one into the White House, and now we're inching closer and closer to putting a second known one on the Supreme Court. The place where we are now is that we've got the Republicans saying they're going to ram this through no matter what, and that's because this nominee would be a culmination of decades of a right-wing effort to solidify their stranglehold on America's democratic institutions. The Koch brothers and other mega donors control state legislatures, Congress, the presidency, in large part SCOTUS already, but they're looking to finalize that majority. So we have to fight back. So get ready. They say they're going to try and vote on this on Friday. So get ready to contact your senators. I hope you have already been doing that. Tell them to vote no. If the Republicans ram him through, we need to seriously figure out how to shut things down with a women's strike or something like that. I don't know what the solution is, but we have to do something that matches the extreme situation that we find ourselves in, where our government, apparently the majority of people in Congress, at least in the Senate, if he wins this nomination, apparently do not really care about something so heinous as sexual predator. So, plus he's unqualified in numerous other ways as well. So that's just sort of like that should be the no-brainer. The rest of it also obviously applies, and he was already a problem before these allegations came out. So we need your help, and we need everybody to get ready to do whatever we gotta do to shut down this really unprecedented situation. It's not unprecedented to have a sexual predator on the Supreme Court, right? We already got Clarence Thomas. But the fact that there has been so much attention about it, and also this is not the 1990s, this is 2018. We're supposed to have evolved a bit as a country, and it's time for us to prove it. Obviously, who's in the White House, makes that a hard case to make, but the struggle is real. This is the fight, apparently, of our day. Whether we've moved forward on this, and whether rape is okay or whether it isn't. Pretty basic. So that's the news, and obviously we're paying close attention. We have been urging senators to vote against Kavanaugh since the hearings, and in fact some of our affiliates presented questions that we were suggesting senators use, and it's important that we make sure really that no nominee for the Supreme Court should support corporate constitutional rights. So that's where we need to get to. So we'll continue to fight on that, and we'll see what happens on tomorrow, and see what happens on Friday. Let's see. Want to give some shout outs to our local folks who are the ones who do this work in your communities, and if you are not part of a Move to Amend local affiliate, now would be a great time for you to get one started in your community. Oh, and before I do that, a reminder that if you are tuning in, please share the link to this feed on your own Facebook wall and use the hashtag Move to Amend, and 2 folks who do that will be our winners tonight. One will win this water bottle, and the other will win our not to be used for bribing politicians stamp that we use to stamp all of the money that comes in and out of this office. So if you'd like to get one of these prizes and help spread the word, then please do so using the hashtag Move to Amend, and invite your friends to come join you here and tune in and learn more about Move to Amend as well. So a shout out to our Minnesota affiliates in Brainerd and St. Paul for their organizing in solidarity with Indigenous peoples opposing construction of the Line 3 pipeline near the Mississippi River. Line 3 is a glaring example of corporate power looming larger than we the people in public policy decisions. So our local Minnesota folks have been working with Indigenous communities to fight back. Keep up the good work. Shout out to our California Move to Amend affiliates for their excellent mailing campaign and outreach for Pledge to Amend. Together, our volunteers from Northern, Central, and Southern California have secured 41 candidates to pledge their support for our movement. Keep up the great work, everyone. And also, everybody can participate in that Pledge to Amend campaign. If you go to movetoamend.org/pledge-amend, you can learn more. This is our campaign during these midterm elections to make sure that nobody is running for office who doesn't have a position on the We the People Amendment. And shout out to our affiliates for reaching out to their local schools and colleges for Constitution Day, which was on September 17th. So that's the main report. Mostly, we've been, focusing on Kavanaugh. We have been working to support this net neutrality bill here in California, actually. And we have been working on Pledge to Amend at Move to Amend, and had a trip to DC to secure a few more co-sponsors and working on getting that introduction in the Senate. So still not, don't have news to report to you on that front, but we will soon, and looking forward to that. I want to thank all our volunteers and affiliate groups, and everybody who we don't have time to mention. Our volunteers are the ones who do this amazing work in their communities on their own time, and make Move to Amend possible. We also can't do this work without resources, so please consider becoming a monthly sustainer by giving $28 for the 28th Amendment. And if you can't chip in that much, then we will gladly and gratefully accept whatever you can give. Even $5 a month will do so much to help us out. We're really trying to move all of our supporters to support monthly. I give monthly. I give $28 a month because I really believe in this cause. And so if you do too, then I invite you to join me in donating $28 a month for the 28th Amendment. No other organization is committed to both ending corporate personhood and money as speech via constitutional amendment. There are plenty of other groups talking about these issues and offering Band-Aid solutions that will, maybe help a little bit in the short term, but in terms of the real lasting solution, it is the We the People Amendment, and we need your support to help make sure that that solution stands out above all the rest, because that's what we really need. Last call reminder to share this feed on your own wall to help invite your friends and bring more people to the movement. 2 people who do that will win a prize. So Move to Amend water bottle, Move to Amend stamp. This is not to be used for bribing politicians. We use this to stamp our money. I didn't grab that bill to show you an example, but I make sure to get 1s and 5s and keep those in my wallet, use them for tolls, use them for tips, and help spread the word about Move to Amend. It's an easy way that almost everybody can help. So share this feed and use the hashtag Move to Amend, and you might win that stamp. And if you don't win the stamp, you could still get one from our website. And we'd love to have you helping to spread the word. Coming up in October, midterm elections are still, top of the heap of issues and things that we'll be talking about along with everybody else political. So it's important that we get every candidate on record with their position on corporate personhood and money in politics. So October is the last month before the election. Now's the time to make it happen. Garrett will share a link again where you can find all the materials on our website. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to bring in more candidates. Our goal is 300. We're at about 200. So we still need to get another 100 candidates to sign the Pledge to Amend to make our goal for the year, and that's totally doable if you help us make it happen. So if you are working on any candidate campaigns, whether local, federal, state, doesn't matter to us, because everybody who wants to serve the public should have a position on this issue. It's relevant at the local, state, and federal level, and so there's nobody who should get out of it. And so please help us by making sure that your candidates know about the pledge, have the opportunity to take the pledge, and if they don't want to take the pledge and want to say that they support corporate personhood and money in politics, there's candidates who do that too, and that's important for voters to know, right? So it doesn't matter, even if you think that they'll be opposed, it's something that we want them to be on record about. So please help us, especially folks running for Congress, because this is a big federal election here, but any race is important. Partly because those people running for local and state office are more likely to be the ones who are going to be running for Congress in years to come. And if we've educated them early about this issue, then we're more likely to have a better body in Congress when the amendment passes. We'll be barnstorming through the end of the year. Barnstorming is what we call our public speaking events in the tradition of the mighty populist movement. We send speakers around the country spreading the word about the campaign to amend the Constitution and inspiring action and It's a good opportunity for folks to start Move to Amend affiliate groups and learn about the campaign and get involved. So our outreach director is currently on a barnstorming tour right now in Indiana and Southern Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas. He's out all this week doing those talks, and if you're in any of those states, then please check out our website, movetoamend.org /barnstorming. Garrett can share that link, and you can see when he'll be near you. I'll be in Minnesota next month, and then Greg will be returning back to the Midwest again. He'll be doing more Northern Illinois and Iowa next month in October. So I'll be in Minnesota, and we'll be in Illinois, in the Chicago area, and some other Northern Illinois spots, and Iowa as well. Our speakers give rousing talks telling the story of the American creation myth and the Constitution as it pertains to corporate personhood and the illegitimate but legal corporate constitutional rights that corporations have been able to get through the Supreme Court. And then we have a facilitated discussion and Q&A. So the goal is to educate, inspire action, and to identify local organizers to start Move to Amend affiliate groups. These events are free and open to the public, and we hope that you'll join us. And if you'd like to bring Move to Amend to your community in 2019, we'll be putting the schedule together starting in November. So now would be a great time to let us know that you'd like to bring us to your town, and we will send one of our awesome speakers if we can, if it's at all possible. We'll make it happen. In the near future, we'll have some exciting announcements about who will be our new champion in the House of Representatives next Congress. So each amendment, each bill in Congress needs to be reintroduced if it doesn't pass through the current Congress. So next year when we have a new Congress, we'll need to reintroduce the We the People Amendment. And our current lead, Rick Nolan from Minnesota, who we've been working with for the last 5 years, is retiring at the end of this year. So he will not be reintroducing our amendment because he won't be in Congress anymore. But we've been working to line up a new lead of the We the People Amendment for next year, and we're excited to have multiple prospects who want to work closely with us and deepen our reach and support in Congress even further. So stay tuned, because we're really excited about the team that we'll be working with in the House. We just can't announce it yet, but we'll be letting you know soon. And remember that we still need to meet our goal of getting the We the People Amendment introduced in the Senate. Looks like we might have some news on that front soon too. But it's important to keep the pressure up on your senators, especially our key targets. I'll run through them, and then Garrett will post the list as well. But if you live in any of these key target states, please contact your senator and let them know that we need them to introduce the We the People Amendment, a companion to House Joint Resolution 48 in the Senate. So our targets are Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray in Washington State, Kamala Harris and Dianne Feinstein in California, Jeff Merkley in Oregon, John Tester in Montana, Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin, Tammy Duckworth in Illinois, Sherrod Brown in Ohio, Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono in Hawaii, Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey in Massachusetts, Sheldon Whitehouse in Rhode Island, Bernie Sanders in Vermont, Cory Booker in New Jersey, Susan Collins in Maine, Chris Van Hollen and Ben Cardin in Maryland, and Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith in Minnesota. So if you live in any of those states, again, they are Washington, California, Oregon, Montana, Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Jersey, Maine, Maryland, or Minnesota. Or if you have any friends who live in those states, then you're important and we need your help. So please contact your senator or senators, if I listed both of them, and let them know that we need them to consider introducing the We the People Amendment in the Senate so we can get going on that goal. So does anybody have any questions for me? Looks like Steve is asking, where can I find a list of the co-sponsors? If you go to movetoamend.org/amendment, Steve, then there is a link right there at the top to the House of Representatives official congress.gov site that has the list of the co-sponsors, and that is always updated fastest and easiest, so we just link straight over there. So that's where you would want to quickly find it. Again, that's movetoamend.org/amendment, and then click on the link that says find the current co-sponsors. Let's see if I can find any other questions. If anybody else has questions for me, then please go ahead and post them in the comments. If you're tuning into the recording, you can also post your questions, and I won't be able to answer them live, obviously, but we will answer them as soon as we see them. Our team will get to it. Let's see, a couple folks who joined that I didn't say hi to. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. I think Jason. Hello. So, don't see any questions. I'll give it a couple more minutes just to make sure that folks aren't typing them. But if you've got questions, then please let me know before I hang up, and I can answer them in real time. Let's see, Garrett, I don't see any questions, but if I missed any, can you chat them to me via chat so that I am sure to catch them? So what are folks thinking that you're going to do if Kavanaugh is affirmed to be the Supreme Court nominee? What's your response going to be while we're waiting? I'm curious. Anybody got ideas for how we will fuck shit up, which is basically the only appropriate response? Garrett's telling me no questions, so we could be done soon, but I do want to know if anybody has any good ideas for how we can rebel. I mean, I know we should plan for stopping him before that point, but what if the Republicans don't let that course go down? Like the idea of a women's strike, Victoria? Yeah, it's hard though, because like I was at the, I got my hair cut yesterday, and you know, the woman that cuts my hair, I know that she knows that I do politics, so she always asks me about it. I don't think I've explained what Move to Amend is, but she, you know, is not political and doesn't really think about politics that often. I just think about all the women who would be affected, and obviously it's not just women, but directly affected by Kavanaugh becoming Supreme Court newest member, and then who don't realize what, you know, the ramifications are for them. So I think a women's strike is a good idea, but how do we make sure that that women actually understand that they need to participate, not just those of us who are already political? That's what I will be thinking about over the next 24 hours. Well, it looks like nobody has any great ideas yet, but we should figure this out, right? So be thinking about it. Let us know if you come up with anything. Thanks for tuning in. The winner of the water bottle is Jason Calder. Congratulations. And the winner of the stamp is Linda Bach from Seattle. So send us a direct message on Facebook, Jason and Linda, Twitter or Instagram, with your address, and we'll send you your water bottle and or your stamp as soon as we get those. Let's see. Have a good call. Have a good PDA call. Hope that goes well, Bill. All right. Well, I think that we're done. Our next live report will be Wednesday, October 24th. And we'll be coming up on the election, so we'll probably talk about that. We'll give you an update on Pledge to Amend. I hope that we'll have some news on where things stand in the Senate. Any day now, we'll be able to tell you some exciting stuff. And in the meantime, contact your senators, because even if they don't end up being our lead, that whole list of folks are people who we want to come on as early co-sponsors. So you're contacting them right now is of the utmost importance, and do everything you can to stop Kavanaugh. All right, everybody. Hopefully I will see you in October, and thanks for spreading the word. Oh, Steve, thanks for contacting your congressman. Perfect. Tell your friends. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thanks so much to Garrett for helping to run the report and do the comments as always. And remember, if you're tuning in on the recording, you can post any questions you've got. We'll answer them as soon as we see them. Okay, everyone, thanks. Have a great night. We'll see you again on October 24th, if not before.